The silver balloon bobbed against the ceiling. "Congratulations, Victoria!" it proclaimed above a dining table I'd spent hours preparing. "Claire, move those napkins to the other side." My mother, Jennifer Bennett, stood with arms crossed. "They look unbalanced." I glanced at the napkins. They looked fine. "Sure, Mom." She stepped toward the mantelpiece where I'd hung my hand-painted banner, hours of careful lettering, watercolor florals in Victoria's favorite purple. Her fingers moved to the store-bought banner leaning against the wall. "I think we'll use this one instead. It's more polished." Polished, not heartfelt. Polished. I unpinned my banner, hands shaking as I folded it. The front door burst open. Victoria swept in with her signature confidence, perfect posture, designer coat, the ease of someone who'd never doubted their place in the world. "Sorry I'm late. The partners wanted to take me out to celebrate." Mom's face transformed. "Of course they did, honey. You look beautiful. Doesn't she look beautiful, Claire?" "Yeah, you look great, Tori." I meant it. My sister was beautiful. Strawberry blonde hair, green eyes that sparkled. Everything about her seemed effortless. "Thanks for setting up, sis." Victoria smiled, already scrolling through her phone. "Tyler's running late, too." By 7 p.m., the house was packed. 30-something people, relatives, Mom's book club, Dad's colleagues, Victoria's co-workers in expensive suits. I stood near the bookshelf with cheap wine, watching everyone orbit my sister like she was the sun. "Claire!" Uncle Greg's hand landed on my shoulder, bourbon on his breath. "What are you up to these days?" "Working at a design firm downtown. Graphic design." "Design, huh? That computer art stuff?" He took a long sip. "You making any money at it, or is it still a hobby?" My jaw tightened. "It's my job, Uncle Greg." "Hey, no judgment. I just mean—" His eyes drifted to Victoria. "Now that's a real success story." At 8 o'clock, Dad clinked his glass. Robert Bennett, accountant and man of few words, stood beside Mom, flanking Victoria. "I want to make a toast to Victoria, our pride and joy." Mom dabbed her eyes. "We always knew Tori would achieve great things. She's everything we ever hoped for." "To the best daughter parents could ask for." Dad raised his glass. The best daughter. Singular. Someone called out, "What about Claire?" Nervous laughter. Dad glanced at me as if just remembering I existed. "Oh, Claire's still figuring things out." More chuckles. Uncle Greg laughed too loudly. "Well, not everyone can be high achievers, right?" Then Mom spoke, looking at me with something cold in her eyes. "Sometimes I wonder if having just one child would have been simpler." A heartbeat of silence, then laughter. Dad clinked his glass against Mom's, nodding. Victoria's smile faltered. Our eyes met. She looked away first. My phone buzzed. I pulled it out with trembling hands. Email. Subject: Congratulations! Your design selected as finalist. National Young Designers Award. I'd submitted it 2 weeks ago, working late at night, telling no one. Now here was proof I wasn't just figuring things out. I looked at Mom, still basking in Victoria's glory. At Dad, who couldn't remember what I did. At the room full of people who'd laughed. I locked my phone. I didn't need them to minimize this, to make it about Victoria, to say, "That's nice, dear," before moving on. I grabbed my jacket and walked out. No one noticed. Hey. The December air hit my face sharp and cold. I walked with no destination, just needing distance. My phone buzzed. "Nina, how's the party? Need rescue?" I couldn't respond. I kept walking. Memories flickered. My 14th birthday. Parents left early for Victoria's piano recital. My college graduation. They skipped because Victoria had the flu. Over and over, the same pattern. I stopped at a small gallery. An abstract painting dominated the window. A woman's fragmented face reassembling into something new. Metamorphosis. What if I just stopped trying to earn their love? What if I left? The 24-hour diner glowed at 2 a.m. I slid into a booth. "Rough night?" Jake Reynolds stood with a coffee pot, my coworker from the design firm. "That obvious?" You've got that 1,000-yard stare. He poured coffee. I work here sometimes. Helps with rent. You work 2 jobs? 3. Freelance on weekends. He shrugged. My family and I don't talk. Haven't for 5 years. Something in his honesty cracked me open. My family had a party tonight. I don't think they noticed I left. Jake sat across from me. What kind of party? My sister's promotion. My parents threw a coronation. Then my mom said life would have been simpler if I didn't exist. Jesus. The worst part? She's probably right. That's bullshit. Jake leaned forward. You're thinking about leaving, aren't you? How? Because I did. 5 years ago. My dad said I'd never amount to anything, so I left. He met my eyes. Hardest thing I ever did, and the best. Do you regret it? Every day for the first year, not once since. I got a finalist nomination for a National Design Award, I said suddenly. Tonight, during the party. That's incredible. I deleted the email. His face shifted. Why? Because telling them would mean giving them another chance to diminish it. So don't tell them. Do it for yourself. I looked at the empty street. I don't know how to live for myself. Then it's time to learn. The sun was rising when I got home. The house was quiet, party debris everywhere. No missed calls, no texts. I opened my laptop and searched apartment listings. Studio apartments within my budget, barely. Victoria texted, "Did you leave last night?" Mom's asking. Not, "Are you okay?" Just relaying Mom's question. I didn't respond. I pulled out a duffel bag and started packing. Clothes, laptop, portfolio. I found my old diary under the bed, a random page. May 15th, 2016. Today, Dad said he was proud of Tori. I wonder if someday he'll say that about me too. 7 years ago. Still hoping. I tore the page out, folded it, slipped it in my pocket. A reminder to never hope again. The apartment was worse than the photos. Graffiti on the building, streets smelling like garbage. Inside, a tiny studio with water-stained ceiling and flickering light. There's a stain, Nina pointed up. Water damage, probably. I tried to sound optimistic. Claire, this place is mine. It's mine, Nina. We spent hours scrubbing, found bedbugs in the mattress, had to throw it out. I'd sleep on the floor. How much? Nina asked, exhausted. $800 a month. She winced. And your paycheck? $2,100 after taxes. More than a third of my income, plus utilities, food, car. I'd have maybe $200 left. My phone rang. Mom, I let it go to voicemail. It rang again and again. Finally. Hello? Claire Elizabeth Bennett, what is this nonsense? Come home right now. I am home. Don't be dramatic. Whatever point you're trying to make, I'm not making a point. I'm done. Done? She scoffed. You're being a child. We have enough going on without your attention-seeking. Attention-seeking. Goodbye, Mom. I hung up. Dad called. Come home. We'll talk. There's nothing to talk about. You can't just leave because your feelings are hurt. I blocked both numbers. Victoria, are you okay? Where are you? I stared at the message. Victoria, who'd watched them hurt me and said nothing. I didn't respond. By Monday, reality hit. Bank account, $1,247. Rent took $1,600. Nina loaned me the difference. I needed more work. After my design firm shift, I hit every coffee shop and restaurant. By Thursday, barista job, 4 to 10 p.m. Weekend brunch at Jake's Diner. New schedule. Wake 6 a.m. Design firm, now at 4. Coffee shop, 4:10. Home, 11 p.m. Weekends at the diner, 7 to 3. I could do this. 3 weeks in, I was barely surviving. Burned hands from espresso machines, falling asleep on buses. Anxiety dreams about being fired, homeless. When did you last eat a real meal? Jake pushed his lunch toward me. I eat. Granola bars don't count. Eat, please. I ate, hating how grateful I was. Week 4, the room started spinning at my desk. I was on my hands and knees, vision tunneling, heart hammering. "Claire!" Mrs. Hoffman's voice underwater. "Someone call 911. No ambulance. Can't afford." Everything went black. Just. I woke in the ER. Nina held my hand, eyes red. "You passed out. Severe dehydration and exhaustion." The doctor pulled up a stool. "Your body is shutting down. When did you last sleep a full night?" "I don't know." "You can't keep going like this. You're 23. I don't have a choice." "There's always a choice." He scribbled. "I'm referring you to a therapist. Your insurance covers it." 3 days later, I sat in Dr. Sarah Blackwood's office. "Tell me why you're here, Claire." "I passed out. The doctor sent me." "Why did you pass out?" 3 jobs. No sleep." "Why did you leave home?" My voice cracked. "Because they don't see me. They never have. I kept trying to earn their love, but they won't. They never will." I told her everything. "Write down specific incidents where you felt unseen," she said. "Don't analyze, just write." 47 incidents. I counted them. In our next session, "What do you notice?" "That I wasn't imagining it." "What else?" "That not all of it was malicious. Some was just neglect. Like they didn't think about me at all." "Claire, do you know why your parents had you? Were you planned?" The question hung. Victoria was born 9 months after their wedding. I came 3 years later during financial troubles. "I don't know." "Maybe find out." I called Aunt Diane. "Aunt Diane, was I planned?" A pause. "Oh, sweetie, please." She sighed. "Your parents were struggling financially. Your mom had postpartum depression. Pretty severe. They didn't bond with you the way they did with Tori. Instead of addressing it, they pretended everything was fine. So it's been my whole life." "It wasn't your fault, honey. None of it was." But I'd spent 23 years trying to fix something broken before I was born. In therapy, how does that make you feel? Like I've been trying to solve an impossible equation. The problem was never me. It was them. What will you do with that realization? I looked at my hands, calloused from work. Stop trying to earn their love. Start building a life that's mine. Dr. Blackwood smiled. That sounds like a good place to start. 6 months later. The apartment looked different now. Nina had moved in, splitting rent down to $400 each. We'd replaced the bug-infested mattress, fixed the flickering light, added plants that somehow survived despite the brick wall view. It wasn't much, but it was starting to feel like home. I'd quit the barista job, kept the design firm and weekend diner shifts, but added freelance work, small business logos, social media graphics. 500 here, 1,000 there. Slowly, I was breathing again. Therapy helped. Dr. Blackwood taught me to recognize the difference between my worth and their perception of it. The panic attacks lessened. The nightmares stopped. "You're healing," she said in one session. "Not healed. Healing. There's a difference." At work, everything changed when David Ashford joined as creative director. Mid-30s, sharp eye, the kind of confidence that came from actual talent rather than ego. He called me into his office my second week. "I've been reviewing portfolios. Yours is impressive." "Thank you." "Why isn't this in our pitch materials?" He pulled up my screen, the design that had been selected as a finalist. "This is exceptional work." I shifted uncomfortably. "I didn't think it was good enough." "Imposter syndrome." He leaned back. "Let's fix that. I want weekly one-on-ones. You're too talented to be hiding." Over the next months, David pushed me. Enter competitions, submit to design blogs, share work publicly. Every time I hesitated, he'd say, "What's the worst that happens? Someone says no? You're already saying no to yourself." In August, I entered a regional design competition. 3rd place, $2,000 and publication in a design magazine. I posted it on LinkedIn. My first public success. Comments rolled in from former classmates, industry contacts, strangers. Victoria liked it, commented, "Proud of you." I stared at her comment for a long time, then checked my blocked numbers. Mom and Dad, still silent. It didn't hurt as much as I expected. Freelance requests started flooding my Instagram DMs. A local bakery needed branding, $1,500. They loved it, referred 3 friends. Then a yoga studio, a boutique, a coffee roaster. "You should raise your rates," Jake said during a diner shift. "You're undercharging." "I don't want to scare clients away." "Claire, you're good, really good. Charge what you're worth." I raised my rates to $2,000 per project. Clients still came. By October, I had steady freelance income, enough to quit the diner. For the first time in months, I had weekends. The text came in November. "Can we talk? Please. Tori." I stared at it for 3 days before responding. Coffee, Saturday, 2 p.m., Java House downtown. Victoria arrived 5 minutes early, looking thinner than I remembered. Designer bag, perfect makeup, but something tired in her eyes. "Hi." She sat down carefully, like I might bolt. "Hi. You look good. Different." I cut my hair. Lost some weight from the stress diet. I tried for lightness. She didn't smile. "Claire, I'm sorry. For everything. For not defending you that night. For years of not defending you." "Why didn't you?" "Because," she twisted her coffee cup, "because they put me on this pedestal and I was terrified of falling off. Every achievement had to be perfect. Every choice had to make them proud. The pressure was suffocating, but I thought that was normal. That was love. Do you know why I left? Because Mom and Dad have always put me first." Her voice cracked. "I see it now. I saw it then, but I didn't know how to stop it without losing everything." "You chose them." "I chose survival." Tears slipped down her cheeks. "But watching them hurt you, that's killing me too. I hate it. I hate the person I became to keep their approval." Something in me softened. "Tori." "I'm not happy, Claire." The words tumbled out. The promotion, the apartment, Tyler, none of it makes me happy. Tyler wants to get married, but I don't love him. Mom set us up 2 years ago. She loves his family, his job. I've been pretending this whole time. I sat back, stunned. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because you're the only one brave enough to leave. I need to learn how." She grabbed my hand. "I'm sorry I wasn't there for you, but I'm here now, if you'll let me be." I looked at our joined hands. For years, I'd seen Victoria as the enemy, the golden child who stole our parents' love. But maybe she was just another casualty of their dysfunction. "I don't know if I can trust you yet." "I understand. But we can try. Slowly." She nodded, crying harder now. "Thank you." We talked for 3 hours. She told me about the panic attacks before big presentations, the sleeping pills she needed, the therapist she'd started seeing in secret because admitting she needed help would disappoint Dad. I told her about the collapse, Dr. Blackwood, the 47 incidents. By the end, we weren't healed, but maybe we were starting to heal together. Month 10 since leaving. David dropped a folder on my desk. "Big client pitch. Eco startup called Greenleaf Co. They need a complete rebrand. I want you leading." "Me? David, I'm still junior." "You're ready. Pitch is Friday." I spent 3 days preparing. Logo concepts, color palettes, messaging strategy. Nina helped me practice. Jake gave feedback. By Friday, I was ready. The Greenleaf CEO was a woman in her 50s, sharp-eyed and skeptical. "Walk me through your vision." I presented for 30 minutes. When I finished, she leaned back. "How old are you?" 23. "And you came up with this yourself?" My stomach dropped. "Yes. Is that a problem?" "No." She smiled. "It's impressive. Let's do it." The contract, $25,000. My commission, $8,000. I called Nina from the parking lot, screaming. Greenleaf launched the rebrand in December. Within 48 hours, it went viral on Twitter. Small business shows how good branding is done. Forget corporate agencies, this is the aesthetic. Who's the designer? This is genius. Design blogs picked it up. My Instagram followers jumped from 500 to 15,000 in 3 days. My inbox flooded. Interview requests, collaboration offers, job offers. Then, the National Young Designers Award, the one I'd almost deleted, announced finalists publicly. My work was showcased on their website. Jake texted, Dude, you're on the official IG. Nina, Claire, your work is on a billboard downtown. I drove downtown. There it was. My design, 20 feet tall, with my name in the corner. I sat in my car and cried. Local news wanted an interview. I almost said no, then remembered David's words. Stop saying no to yourself. The reporter was young, enthusiastic. Who inspired you to become a designer? I paused. The old me would have said my parents, desperate for any acknowledgement. The new me said, my friend Jake, who taught me about hard work. My roommate Nina, who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. My mentor David, who saw potential I couldn't see. And myself, for not giving up. Notably, I didn't mention family. The segment aired that evening. My phone exploded with texts from old friends, former classmates, industry contacts. Victoria, I saw your interview. I'm so proud of you. Really, nothing from Mom or Dad. Month 11. Nina ran into my mother at Starbucks. She asked about you, Nina told me later. How you were doing. I said you were amazing, thriving. She said that's good, like she was talking about the weather. So I asked if she'd Googled you lately. What did she say? She looked confused. Then I walked away. Good. That night, Jennifer and Robert Bennett sat at their home computer. Jennifer typed, Claire Bennett designer articles, interviews, the award announcement, the billboard photo someone had posted, comments praising her work, her vision, her future. Jennifer's hand covered her mouth. How did we not know about any of this? Robert scrolled, silent. She didn't tell us, Jennifer said. Did we ever ask? Robert's voice was quiet. Jennifer grabbed her phone, dialed. It went to voicemail. Claire, honey, we saw your work online. It's really good. We'd love to talk. Please call back. I listened to the voicemail 3 times. It's really good. Not we're proud, not we were wrong, just it's really good. In therapy, how do you feel? Like I'm waiting for the catch, for them to minimize it somehow, to make it about them. Do you want to call back? No, not yet. Victoria called that night. Mom's book club saw your interview. Now she's embarrassed she didn't know. Dad's coworker asked him about your work, and he had no clue what to say. So they're not proud. They're embarrassed they looked bad. Yeah. Victoria's voice was sad. I think so. I laughed, bitter. Of course. Claire, I'm ending things with Tyler. What? You were right. I can't keep living for their approval. I'm ending the engagement. I'm going to travel, figure out who I am without them watching. Tori, that's huge. I learned from the best. She paused. The engagement party is in 2 weeks. I'm canceling it, but I wanted you to know first. The invitation arrived before Victoria could cancel. Victoria Bennett and Tyler Morrison request the pleasure of your company. Nina found me staring at it. Are you going? I don't know. Jake stopped by that evening. What do you want? Not revenge, not validation. What do you actually want? I thought for a long time. Closure. I want them to see me, not for revenge, for me. To know I existed, I mattered, and I did it without them. Then go. I bought a dress, not expensive, but elegant. Got my hair done professionally. Nina watched me get ready. You look beautiful. I feel ready. That night, I had a nightmare. Showing up to the party, everyone ignoring me again. I woke up panicking, called Dr. Blackwood's emergency line. You're not going for them to see you, she said calmly. You already know your worth. You're going to see if they've changed. The party was at an upscale venue, too many guests for the family home. 100 people, maybe more. I arrived alone. Nina had offered to come, but I needed to do this myself. Deep breath. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. Inside, the room buzzed with conversation. I spotted Uncle Greg by the bar. Claire! He pulled me into a hug. Haven't seen you in forever. What are you up to these days? I'm a designer. I run campaigns for major brands. No kidding, that pays well? Better than I expected. He laughed, genuinely pleased. Good for you, kiddo. My mother saw me from across the room. She froze, wine glass halfway to her lips. Dad approached first. Claire, you came. Of course, Victoria's my sister. Mom joined us, her smile stiff. You look different. Good. Different good. The hug was awkward, bodies barely touching. How have you been? Mom's voice was too bright. Busy. Working. Right, the design thing. She waved vaguely. That's going well? Very well, actually. Silence. They didn't know what to say. I didn't help them. Well, the ceremony starts soon, Mom said. We should find our seats. They walked away. I exhaled. First hurdle cleared. Get. I overheard whispers near the hors d'oeuvres table. That's the other Bennett daughter. I heard she's some big designer now. Jennifer never mentioned her much. A woman I didn't recognize approached Mom's group. Jennifer, darling, I saw your daughter on the news. Why didn't you tell us Claire was so accomplished? Mom's laugh was forced. Oh, Claire's always been independent. Does her own thing. Independent. That's what she was calling it now. Tyler found me by the windows. You're Claire? Victoria talks about you all the time. Does she? She said you're incredibly talented. I looked up your work. The Greenleaf campaign was genius. I'm in marketing, and honestly, I'd hire you in a heartbeat. We talked shop for 20 minutes. He was genuine, kind. I could see why Victoria had tried to love him. Did. The lights dimmed. Victoria stepped onto the small stage, microphone in hand. Thank you all for coming tonight. Her voice was steady. I want to thank my parents for their support, Tyler for his patience and kindness, and she found me in the crowd. My sister Claire, who taught me that success means nothing if you're not true to yourself. Gasps rippled through the room. Mom's smile froze. Claire, I'm sorry I wasn't there when you needed me. I'm here now. Someone shouted, Speech from the sister. Everyone turned to me. I stood slowly, heart pounding. I hadn't planned this. I don't have much to say. My voice barely shook. Just, congratulations, Victoria. You deserve happiness. Uncle Greg, predictably drunk. Come on, tell us about your fancy design stuff. The room waited. Ted. I took a breath. The room waited. Okay. My voice grew stronger. I'm a lead designer at my firm. Last year, I rebranded a company that went viral nationally. I won 3rd place in a regional competition and was selected as a finalist for the National Young Designers Award. Next month, I'm opening my own studio. Murmurs of approval swept the room. A woman in pearls, one of Mom's book club friends, turned to my parents. Jennifer, Robert, you must be so proud. Mom's smile was tight. Of course we are. We always knew Claire was talented. My face flickered with something between anger and disbelief. Always knew. Dad nodded along. She's always been creative. The lies came so easily to them. Tyler raised his glass. To both Bennett sisters, may you both find what makes you truly happy. The toast felt pointed, but the crowd drank anyway. After the toast, people swarmed me. Victoria's co-workers, family friends, strangers who'd seen my interview. How did you get started? What software do you use? Can I get your card? I answered politely, handed out business cards I'd printed last week. The attention felt surreal. These same people had ignored me a year ago. Across the room, Mom stood with her friends, forcing smiles as they peppered her with questions about my work. Questions she couldn't answer. Dad had retreated to the bar, nursing whiskey. Victoria caught my eye from the stage, still holding the microphone. She looked scared but determined. Something was about to happen. Actually, Victoria's voice cut through the chatter. Before we continue, there's something I need to say. The room quieted. Tyler moved toward the stage, confused. Mom, Dad, I love you, but I can't do this anymore. Jennifer's face went pale. Victoria, what are you? I've spent my entire life trying to be perfect for you. The perfect daughter, The perfect employee, the perfect fiancé. Her voice cracked. But I'm not perfect, and I'm not happy. Tyler reached the stage. Tori, what's going on? She turned to him, tears streaming. I'm so sorry, Tyler. You're a good man. But I don't love you the way you deserve to be loved. I've been pretending because our families wanted this, because my mother wanted this, but I can't marry you. Gasps erupted. Someone dropped a glass. It shattered on the marble floor. Tyler, I'm sorry. Victoria pulled off her ring, pressed it into his hand. I'm so sorry. Tyler stood frozen, processing. Then quietly, I know. Everyone stared. I know, he repeated, louder. I've known for months that something was off. I kept hoping. He looked at the ring in his palm. You're right. We both deserve better than this. He turned to the crowd. Victoria and I have decided to end our engagement. We care about each other, but we're not in love. We've been living for others' expectations. His eyes found me in the crowd. Tonight, watching Claire, we realized life's too short for that. Mom looked like she might faint. Dad gripped the bar rail. Uncle Greg, drunk as ever, laughed nervously. Well, this is awkward, but the party descended into chaos. Some guests started leaving. Others clustered in corners, gossiping. Mom's friends surrounded her with false sympathy. I slipped toward the exit, but Mom's voice stopped me. Claire, we need to talk. Now. She grabbed my arm, pulling me into a side hallway. The sounds of the party muffled behind the heavy door. Are you happy? Her voice shook with anger, not concern. Is this what you wanted, to humiliate us? Excuse me? You left without explanation. You ignored our calls. You built this whole life without telling us, and now Victoria is imploding because of you. Because of me? My voice rose. Mom, I didn't tell Victoria to end her engagement. She made that choice herself. You influenced her. You always... I always what? Always existed? Always reminded you that you had 2 daughters instead of 1? Don't be dramatic. You said you wished you only had 1 child. The words exploded out of me. At Victoria's party, in front of everyone, you said life would be easier without me. Mom's face went pale. I never said that. You did. You said having just 1 child would have been simpler. I was drunk. I didn't mean... You meant it. My voice was steady now, cold. Maybe you didn't want to say it out loud, but you meant it. You've always meant it. I'm your mother. I love you. Do you? I stepped closer. Or do you love the idea of having 2 successful daughters to brag about now that I'm finally someone worth mentioning? That's not fair. You're right. It's not fair. None of this has been fair. My hands trembled. I spent 23 years trying to earn your love, trying to be good enough, smart enough, accomplished enough. But it was never about me. You didn't bond with me when I was born. Aunt Diane told me about the postpartum depression, the financial stress. You resented having me, and instead of dealing with it, you just pretended I didn't matter. Tears streamed down Mom's face. Claire! I forgive you, Mom. She looked up, shocked. I forgive you, not because you apologized. You haven't. Not because you've earned it, but because holding on to this anger will only hurt me. I'm done letting you hurt me. Claire, please. I need you to understand something. I wiped my own tears. If you want a relationship with me, it starts from 0. You don't get credit for being my mother. You don't get to claim my success. You have to earn it, the same way I spent my whole life trying to earn your love. That's not how family works. Maybe it should be. I turned toward the door. Where are you going? Home. My actual home. Again. I found Victoria in the venue's garden, sitting on a bench, still in her engagement dress. That was brave, I said, sitting beside her. That was terrifying. She laughed through tears. I just blew up my entire life. Welcome to the club. She leaned her head on my shoulder. What do I do now? Whatever you want. That's the point. I don't know what I want. Then figure it out. You've got time. We sat in silence. Two sisters who'd spent years as strangers, finally on the same side. "Join my studio," I said suddenly. Victoria lifted her head. "What?" "I'm opening a studio next month. I need a marketing strategist. Someone who understands business, knows how to pitch clients." I met her eyes. "Someone I can trust." "You trust me?" "I'm starting to. We're both learning how to be ourselves instead of their daughters. Might as well do it together." She hugged me tight, sobbing. "Thank you. Thank you, Teh." Dad found us 10 minutes later. "Girls, please come back inside. We can work this out." "Dad, there's nothing to work out." I stood. "I'm not angry anymore. I'm just done." "Done?" "I spent 23 years trying to earn your love. I'm not doing that anymore. If you want a relationship with me, you'll have to earn it." "That's not how family works." "You already said that, and I'm telling you, that's how my family works now." Robert looked between us at his two daughters united against him for the first time. "Victoria?" His voice cracked. "You too?" "I love you, Dad, but I need to find out who I am without your expectations weighing on me." "We only wanted what was best for you." "No," Victoria said quietly. "You wanted what was best for your image. There's a difference." Nina pulled up 15 minutes later. Victoria and I climbed into the back seat. "How'd it go?" Nina asked. "I ended my engagement in front of 100 people," Victoria said. "And I told our parents they have to earn a relationship with me." Nina whistled. "So, typical Saturday night." We all laughed, the kind of laughter that comes after crying, after breaking, after finally being free. Mom ran out of the venue as we were pulling away. "Claire! Victoria! Don't leave like this!" I rolled down the window. "Mom, I'll call you, but not tomorrow, not next week, when I'm ready." "When will that be?" "I don't know, but I'll let you know." She stood in the parking lot, getting smaller in the rearview mirror, finally understanding what absence felt like. The sign above the door read, "Bennett and Bennett Creative Studio" in clean, modern lettering. Our opening party was small: David, Mrs. Hoffman, Jake, Nina, a handful of clients and industry contacts. The office was modest, just 4 desks in a sunny space downtown, but it was ours. Victoria handled client relations and marketing strategy. I led design. We'd hired Jake as junior designer and Nina ran operations. 2 interns rounded out the team. "To new beginnings," David toasted. "To surviving," I added. We drank cheap champagne and ate grocery store cake, and it was perfect. My parents weren't there. I hadn't invited them. During the party, an email notification lit up my phone. From Jennifer Bennett. Subject: "Can we talk?" "Dear Claire, I've started therapy. Dr. Blackwood, you gave permission for her to reach out to me, recommended it. I'm learning about postpartum depression, about how it affected you, about how we failed you. I can't change the past. I can't give you the childhood you deserved. But I want to understand what happened. I want to be better. Would you be willing to meet? No expectations. Just coffee. Love, Mom." I showed Victoria. "What do you think?" she asked. "I think, maybe, someday. Not today. Not today. But someday." 1 week later, Dad showed up at the studio unannounced. "What are you doing here?" "Can I see what you've built?" I hesitated, then gave him the tour. Our small conference room, the design wall covered in mock-ups, Victoria's office with its color-coded filing system. Robert was quiet, nodding, taking it in. "I'm proud of you, Claire." "Are you? Or are you proud that I'm finally someone you can brag about?" He paused. "I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out." The honesty surprised me. "Your mother and I are in therapy, together and separately. We're trying to understand how we—" He struggled for words. "How we failed you. Both of you." "That's good, Dad. Will you give us a chance?" I looked at him, really looked. He was aging, graying, smaller somehow than the giant of my childhood. "I'm giving you the chance to try. That's all I can offer right now." "That's fair?" He nodded. "That's more than fair. 3 months later, Therapy session with Dr. Blackwood. Your parents want to have dinner. How do you feel about that? Skeptical, but hopeful? Is that naive? It's human. She leaned forward. Healing isn't linear, Claire. They may slip back into old patterns. And if they do, you'll have boundaries, and you'll be okay, because your worth isn't dependent on them anymore. The family dinner. Small Italian restaurant. Neutral territory. Victoria and I arrived together, a united front. Mom and Dad were already there, looking nervous. We ordered, made small talk about weather, traffic. Then Mom said, "Tell me about your latest project." I told her about a rebrand for a local nonprofit. She listened, really listened, asked questions, didn't interrupt, didn't compare me to Victoria, didn't make it about her. Dad asked about the business side, how we found clients, what our growth plan was. When Victoria talked about her work, they listened to her too. Not with their usual beaming pride, but with genuine curiosity. It wasn't perfect. Mom slipped once, starting to say, "Why didn't you tell us?" before catching herself. Dad still struggled with eye contact. But it was different. It was progress. After dinner, Victoria and I walked to our cars. Think they'll actually change? Maybe. Maybe not. I looked at the city skyline, lights glittering against the dark. But I've changed. That's what matters. Do you think we'll ever be a normal family? I don't know what normal is. But maybe we can be honest. That's better than perfect. She hugged me. Love you, sis. Love you too, Ed. Final scene. I sat at my desk the next morning, coffee steaming, morning light streaming through the studio windows. Jake was sketching at his desk. Nina was on a call with a potential client. Victoria laughed at something on her computer screen. My chosen family, the people who saw me when I was invisible, who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. My phone buzzed. Mom, thank you for last night. Can we try again next month? I stared at the message. A year ago, I would have responded immediately, desperate for any crumb of approval. Now, I took my time. Me, yes, let's try. 3 words. Not forgiveness, not reconciliation, just willingness. I set down my phone and returned to work, designing a logo for a startup run by 3 women who'd left corporate jobs to build something of their own. Women who'd chosen themselves over expectations.